There was no guidebook to COVID-19. There was no resources to look at to let us know what the plan was.
I think it is very important keeping the community fed and keeping the community up in the know as to what is going on here.
Telford is a new town and our community is diverse. We've worked across the whole of the town to work with our third sectors about how we could work together to meet the needs of our communities.
The lockdown worry, really, I suppose, was the not being able to go out and you not being able to communicate, with other people. It makes it a long day when you're on your own.
Sutton Hill Community Trust was formed back in 2017 to take over the management of the Sutton Hill Community Centre. When we first heard of lockdown, our main concern was, making sure that the community got what it needed. We worked out that the key things were going to be prescriptions, collecting food, getting meals to people. So we immediately turned into that support organisation.
The local authority was looking to provide breakfast packs to families with children that were on free school meals. At one point, I think we were looking at after 88 families with about 190 children between them. In the long term, we're now carrying on until Christmas, and hopefully we can do it even further on than that as well.
Telford has a rich history of working with community groups, and we've got some phenomenal groups out there and individuals who really care about the community in the town. So one of the things that the council was very keen to do was make sure that people were aware of the services that we could offer and the support we could offer. We set up a community support line that people could contact.
So when the lockdown first happened in Telford, our main issues and concerns were people having access to food. And for the same period between March and September last year, we did 1,000 more food parcels this year. Collaboration's been really important to us. We've had a member of staff from Telford and Wrekin Council seconded to us. Having our fundraising officer in place, it's been very key to us being able to be sustainable in terms of being able to buy extra food. We now have a warehouse, which we've never had before, and that's just making sure that we've got enough food in stock to go 6 months down the line, should the worst happen again.
We've seen a big change in the type of people who come to us. It often be people who've been working for 20, 30 years.
We find that people can come to us absolutely in despair, thinking that, they've got no options. In the local area, housing's a major issue. There's a lot of people in demand for housing, and that level of competition, so to speak, can actually add, an extra level of pressure to people that are in debt. To deal with the likely increased workload, we are aware that the government have provided extra funding for the Money and Pension Service. We are hoping that we can access some of that extra funding in order to get an extra debt advisor, which will obviously, mean we can help more people.
Collaborating with other organisations is vitally important. We have lots of colleagues internally help with things like housing and debt, but we can't offer everything. So those external partners are so important to make sure that people are getting all the help they need in all aspects of their life, not just what we can go and offer them.
We're really worried going into the pandemic about rough sleepers. Obviously, if you don't have anywhere to live and you become ill, you're not able to self-isolate and you put the community at risk. We're really worried about people losing their jobs and losing the ability to pay their bills and becoming homeless as well. We were able to access some funding to pay for hotel rooms for people, and the local authority were very willing to pay for hotel rooms to get people off the streets, and they're willing to do that going forward. So what really works around that is that we're able to have a captive audience and really work intensively with those people. So we meet at 9:30 every morning and have done every day to work with housing, voluntary sector organisations, and now we're bringing in other statutory organisations around substance misuse, mental health and social services.
Yellow Ribbon was set up to help people who are being released from prison, to give them somewhere safe to live, something meaningful to do, counselling if need be, and community reintegration. We have supported housing so that people are supported to live together, but there are many types of accommodation that are referred to as houses of multiple occupation, where there isn't support in place, and the council are wanting to step in to restructure that market if they can, so that people can be helped out of those situations into long-term tenancies and settle and thrive. I think what lockdown has done is remove some barriers in terms of long-term cyclical issues. More funding is available, greater commitment is there. They've been able to think a lot more creatively to find a solution and work with organisations like ourselves that can provide the support on the ground.
I don't just think that a healthy third sector is important. I think it's essential for every area at the moment, because we could not have achieved what we've achieved without the partnership between our third and voluntary sector.
I think the important thing for all community organisations that work within Telford is all of us have a deep understanding of our communities.
I think it's been a really cohesive strategy by everyone in Telford to make sure that that end result, that end person, gets what they need.